Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to use Maya to make SVG vectorial images. So if you want to make cool looking logos for your CV or your website, Maya can actually be a really great tool for that, and that's something that people don't really talk about. So it's really simple, but I'm going to show you how. I'm currently using Maya 2018 version, but technically this should work with pretty much all versions of Maya. So the first thing before working you need to do is make sure that the Maya Vector plugin is actually turned on. It comes installed with all versions of Maya, but you just need to check if it's actually turned on. So go into Windows, Setting Preferences, and then the Plugin Manager. And here you can just type Vector, and you look vector render.mll loaded and autoload. When you put those two, when you turn on Maya, it's gonna automatically load for you. All right. So here's the two really simple shapes that I made. It's just a hexagon and a little cog model. So that's what they look like. And the idea is that when you go into panel and orthographic view and you look on top, it's gonna look like a nice cog inside the hexagon. But of course, this is just a 2D image, but Maya is a 3D software, so you can make these SVG images at any angle. But a normal 3D angle might not be really pretty for a logo, so what I recommend doing is doing an orthographic angle. So just going to create a simple camera. Just place it like this, and then in your rotations, you're gonna input -45 in the rotate X and -45 in the rotate Y. And then you're gonna go into your attribute editor to get all the attributes for that camera. And in the tabs, you'll notice that there's a tab called orthographic view. And when you turn on orthographic, it's gonna cease to render this as a 3D image with perspective, but as a flat image. So when you turn on orthographic, you go into panel, orthographic, and then you select your camera, you can see it. And here's my image in a perfect 45 per 45 angle. Another orthographic angle that is really popular is called the Cavalier angle. So you just have to put -30 instead of -45 in your rotate X, and that's how you get the Cavalier angle. But in my case, that's not exactly what I want to do. So let's get rid of that. Let's go back into my top perspective. So the Maya vector does not actually render any kind of shading. So you have to input the colors right here, and you cannot have shadows with this method. So you go assign new material, and you take surface shader. It doesn't really change anything because, like I said, it's not going to render any shadows anyway, but if you put it in surface shader, you have a better idea of what it's going to look like in the end. So yeah, surface shader is a shader that doesn't have any kind of shadow or reflectiveness. It's just the flat color. So for my first color, I'm going to put a shade of blue like this. And for my second one, you just do the same thing. Assign new material, surface shader, and I'm going to put a nice orange like this. So here we have what the colors are supposed to look like. So now if I'm gonna go in my render settings right here, I'm in the render using tab, you select Maya vector, so you actually get vector images. So now if you look at it, you can see that the result, yeah, that's pretty much what I want to have. So now in your render settings, you're gonna have to put the image format as SVG, or no, just put it as SVG, because all of these are bitmap images, so that's not going to be a vectorial image. So put it in SVG, and in the renderable camera, here I'm using top, so I'm putting top, but if I had like a orthographic camera, like I said, that's the one that I would select. Now the thing is, if you go into the render view and you try to save the image from this tab, here you're only going to have bitmap formats for some reason, and that's not what you want. So what you actually need to do is to do a batch render for a single frame so that you can get the single frame that you're looking at right now. So into settings, yeah, you set this as SVG. The start frame and the end frame, you set them as 1. Renderable camera top, it's very important. Here you can put your resolution just for the render, but it's an SVG image, so you're going to be able to scale it how you want. So now that this is all set, I can do render, batch render, continue, and then it's gonna start rendering your image. Alright, so result render complete. So if you want to know where Maya put it, you can go right here in the script editor and you're gonna see result render complete, and right there is gonna tell you see where the file is. So go get your file right there. So in my case, it's gonna be in the default Maya project. And here you have it. Here you have your SVG file. So I'm just gonna drop it on my desktop right now. So here it is. And now let's put it inside Wix just as an example. So here's my Wix editor for my website, and I'm gonna add this SVG file. So how you do that is you go into add, and then you go into shapes. It's called form for me, but it's just shape. You go into more, and there you can have access to your own vectorial images. So you click on download, and then you select your SVG image. Alright, so here it is. I'm gonna put it, and now as you can see, the colors are all completely messed up. But here's the really cute part, is that when you go into design, here for every color that you put in Maya, you can change it in Wix. So let's say I'm gonna put this white and I'm gonna put this green. So here's my SVG image, and now since it's SVG, I can scale it however I want, and it's never gonna have any kind of compression quality. So yeah, that was how you make SVG images in Maya and how you put them in Wix. Thank you for watching.